There's an ingrained idea that building a business requires a massive pile of cash, an approved bank loan, and wealthy connections. Because of that specific idea, millions of potential founders sit on the sidelines. They draft business plans and wait years for perfect financial conditions, hoping a wealthy investor will eventually validate their idea. Capital does not dictate whether a business model works. Money is simply a tool used to solve scaling problems. How to ship 10,000 units instead of 10. It does not solve the core customer problem. The digital economy has entirely removed the toll booth. No retail space to lease, no warehouses of physical inventory, just a laptop and Wi-Fi, meaning your existing expertise is the most valuable currency you possess. A lack of financial capital is no longer a valid barrier to entry. For most of us, pointing to an empty bank account is a convenient psychological excuse to avoid the hard work of execution. So, if we remove money from the equation entirely, what exactly are we building? The answer is an expertise-based model. Whether it's freelance copywriting, virtual executive assistants, or using free no-code tools to build a micro SaaS product, these are vehicles that cost exactly $0 to launch. A traditional retail model forces you to buy inventory before you ever make a sale. An expertise model bypasses that entirely. It eliminates physical overhead and equipment purchases, relying purely on the monetization of the knowledge you already have in your head. Because you have zero overhead, your profit margins are immediate. A specialized skill, like SAT tutoring or specific software management, can generate significant, recurring revenue within days of your first outreach. Choosing an expertise-based vehicle erases financial risk from the board. You owe nothing to a bank, and you answer to no investors. The burden of success shifts entirely away from capital and rests directly on your own competence. Having a zero-cost vehicle is only half the equation. You still need an operational system to build and test this business without accidentally sinking money into it down the line. That system is called the Lean Startup, a methodology developed by entrepreneur Eric Ries. It provides a strict scientific framework for building a company with zero financial risk. This structural diagram maps out the Lean Startup philosophy. Within this framework, every strategic decision and product feature is kept flexible, allowing you to test assumptions against your core vision in real time. To run that experiment without spending money, you build a minimum viable product, or MVP. This is the cheapest, fastest version of your service. You build it solely to gather data from real people. This build, measure, learn flowchart shows how you process data. You rapidly deploy your MVP to see how the market reacts. In the measure phase, you track real customer actions. That raw data forces a critical choice: pivot to a new strategy or persevere and double down. The Lean Startup system acts as an absolute shield against financial ruin. It prevents you from spending money on a polished product by forcing you to prove actual market demand first. Now we arrive at the final logistical hurdle. You have an MVP and a system to test it. How do you acquire your first paying customers without spending a single cent on Facebook or Google ads? You ignore broad, expensive marketing campaigns. Instead, you rely on hyper-specific, trust-based outreach. You spend your time in niche Reddit threads, LinkedIn comments, and industry forums. You find the specific places where potential customers are actively complaining about the exact problem your service solves, and you offer them a direct, personal solution. To close those first few deals, you run a pilot program. You approach 5 targeted people and offer your service for free or at a massive discount in exchange for a brutally honest review. That social proof provides the early momentum needed to scale. Once you have those highly satisfied users, you build a referral structure. You offer them an incentive, like a free month of service for bringing in a new client. That single early adopter brings in 3 more, creating a self-sustaining marketing engine that costs nothing to maintain. In the absence of money, your own sweat equity and the trust you establish within a specific community become the true currencies that purchase early traction. The models are free. The testing system is free. The marketing is free. With the financial barrier dismantled, the only remaining obstacles to building a business are psychological. This process terrifies most people because it removes their hiding spots. Launching an MVP forces you to push an imperfect, messy version of your idea out into the open, where you face immediate and unfiltered public feedback. Every product that fails to gain traction serves as a data point within the feedback loop. These results explicitly map out which strategies to abandon tomorrow. The excuses of the past century no longer apply. You don't need a loan, and you don't need a vault full of cash. The future belongs exclusively to those who replace overthinking with immediate, zero-cost action today.